this is a familiar sight. I've actually shot this car before. This thing is seriously the craziest GTR I've ever seen. Everything that can be changed to carbon was changed to carbon. Every body panel, even the windows are Lexan. It's pretty much the craziest GTR street car ever. We're here at Bulletproof Automotive. They just finished building this GTR street car here, but I know you guys have seen some of the inside of this facility before. Kikawa's been here with his Model 3, but what you guys don't realize is they build the craziest GTRs. So let's check out some of the GTRs that they've built.
Hey,
I know this guy. Hello.
What's up, man? Good to see you.
Good to see you. The audience has been here before on the unplugged performance side, right?
Yeah.
But they haven't seen any of the GTRs that you guys have built. So that's one of the things I wanted to do today, is show you guys what really impresses me in terms of like the GTR performance side of things.
Yeah, we like to have fun with all kinds of different cars, but our background is in Japanese cars and GTRs, so definitely check it out.
Can you show us around a little bit?
Let's do it.
So let's start with some of the ones that you guys have in the back that you're working on.
Cool, let's do it. Come on back.
Ooh, I already see something crazy. So tell me a little bit about this build.
Every build is a little bit different. This one, the owner is just all about pure top speed and just going crazy on airstrips. He came to us to make the car even lighter.
So how much power are we talking about here?
It really depends on the tune he's running, but we're getting close to 2,000 on this one.
That's just insane. I don't even know what to say about that.
I don't know
That's
either.
just crazy.
Some people are just crazy, but that's what we live for, is this kind of craziness.
This is just out of control. And it's pretty much all carbon, or?
It's not pretty much, it is all carbon. And not only that, we did some extra reinforcement because this car is meant to go, you know, down to 1 mile straight on the strip as fast as it can go.
So how fast do you think this can go in the 1 mile, standing mile?
But we're definitely talking past 200.
I just get scared when I go over 100. I couldn't imagine. I couldn't imagine going 200 in standing mile, which is just so crazy. What other build do you have going on here?
So the car we just saw is from San Diego, and this car over here on the lift was sent down to us from Canada. A lot of people have been sending us their cars from around the country to turn into full overtake carbon builds. This one's a little bit different. He had a few previous parts that he wanted to keep, so it's a little bit of a mix and match job. But we basically took the quarter panels off, brought the car basically down to the frame and rebuilt what he wanted to rebuild, which in this case is the rear quarter panels, the bumper, the trunk, the doors, all those are all overtake dry carbon. It's a fun build, and wrapping that one up, and this car is going to go back to Canada about a week or so.
Awesome.
And the next one comes in after that, and we'll take another seemingly perfect car, tear it down to the frame, and do it all over again.
So you guys have another warehouse where you have some cool cars, right?
Yeah, we have 2 other locations. One spot is more kind of our clean space where we do paint correction, vinyl wrap, detail work, and then we have some cars over there as well.
So let's head over there and check out those cars.
Sounds good, let's do it.
All right. Let's see what this thing is about. Oh. This thing is so insane. First and second gear are straight cut gears. Transmission's fully built. Just driving really slow, I can hear the turbos clearly. So what surprises me about this car really is how tame it is for having quadruple digit horsepower numbers. I mean, like, it potentially has up to 1,500 horsepower, I guess. But I'm just driving it around like a normal daily driver, which is so cool. Like, that's what these guys are good at. And surprisingly, even though it shifts super hard, the ride is super nice and it's relatively quiet actually compared to some of my cars that I have. So we're just a couple miles down the road from Bulletproof Automotive. And this is actually where Ben stores some of his personal cars. We got some fun little toys in here.
So this is a place a little bit less noisy where we do more of the cosmetic stuff like vinyl wraps, paint correction. We also store some nice cars here.
Yeah.
And feel free to have a look.
I see one in particular, your baby, Hakoska, right?
Yeah, I have to protect it. It's these days, well, for a long time actually, it's a pretty special car, and there aren't too many in the world that are left. I love the classics, and I love cars that have history. You know, even though I'm driving a Tesla every day, something really is amazing about older cars that have personality and have the kind of, you know, the beautiful engine sound and all of that. And this one has an S20 motor, which is the rarest of the rare, and if you appreciate Japanese tuning and history, it's the perfect merger of everything great about Japanese tuning.
Awesome.
Yeah, we do some crazy brakes.
Oh my God.
6-piston carbon ceramic.
That
massive.
That caliper is bigger than my whole leg. All right, so I think that's what's next for you, Kakawa. You gotta wrap yours purple as well. What's the deal with this DR30?
Just a random relic of Japanese tuning that I thought was cool. That, you know, isn't that well known of a car, but I thought it was really interesting, and it's all original kind of period correct tuning parts. Super old Volk Racing mesh wheels. It's got some crazy aero. It has these fins on the hood, which were popular at the time in Japan.
I love the stock decals on it too.
Stock decals. The car's a little beat, but it has all the original kind of feeling.
So tell me a little bit about your personal GTR, because that's something that I shot a while ago, but honestly, I've shot so many GTRs and I've shot so many tuner cars in general, but that one really blew my mind in terms of like what you did to it just to make it lighter. Like attention to detail in terms of like changing all the glass to Lexan, but still like the power windows still work. It's still a usable car, but it really is the craziest street car. I mean, how much weight did you take out of that thing?
400 pounds.
The thing that really impressed me is that it has full interior and it's still comfortable and it's still usable as a car versus like gutting it completely.
You know, every tuner has their own philosophy, and mine's not good or bad, it's just what I like. And for me, I really like cars that do everything better without a downside. And it's really difficult because, in my opinion, it's much easier to make a car that's really great at one thing and bad at something else. And I try to find a way to make a car that could still theoretically be sold by a manufacturer and be driven every day.
Thing is, I love the look of it too. I've shot so many of your cars and they all have a very JDM style to it. Your personal car really speaks to me because it's like, it has that raw carbon look. It's really hard to pull off that raw carbon look, but also you have your own accents to it that make it like your own. And it's just so awesome to see that.
Thank you. Yeah, I mean, I'm fortunate to have learned from the best over the years. You know, I got into the game 19 years ago and was very close with Top Secret for a long time, and close with Mines, and close with the Honda tuners like J's and ASM and Spoon. And you know, over time, you kind of learn from your peers around you, and over time, you develop your own style.
Let's kind of go over this build. The thing is, it actually looks so crazy. I just drove it on the street, and it's pretty tame in terms of being able to drive it slower around town with traffic. So tell me kind of about this car.
No, and I'm glad you said that, because that's really the goal. You know, this car is built for a customer, and we listen closely to our customers and understand what their goals and dreams are. And most of our customers tend to be like-minded with us, where they want to still enjoy their car every day, and they may want to go to the racetrack and, you know, hopefully be the fastest person out there, but they want to enjoy the drive to the track and back. And I think what you experienced was the duality of a car that can be tuned for both street and track and have the best of both.
The horsepower range is crazy, right? 1,200 to 1,500 horsepower, depending on how much boost it's putting down. But it still has air conditioning.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right.
Still has air conditioning. The interior, you know, we designed the interior. It has a lot of Alcantara. In some ways, the interior is similar to my own car, but you know, this one has its own personal touch and is a little bit different.
All right, so let's start with the exterior of this amazing beast.
Yeah, let's do it.
What up?
How's it going?
How are you?
So this car has gone through a couple different iterations. It has a lot of crazy aero on it. The first thing you might see is the Veris front bumper. It's got a huge front lip. This is essentially like the Veris Kamikaze kit, but a little bit more street friendly. You'll see that the lip isn't as aggressive, but the overall design is the same. Come look at the fenders, and the fenders are just like the Kamikaze as well. It's got the extra ducts right here and the little lip right there.
A lot of this is functional.
Yeah, Veris has some of the fastest track cars out in Japan. Many of their customers, you know, actually use their kits on track, and you know, they have the lap times to prove it.
Yeah.
I'm going to jump in here for a second. Fun fact for JDM fanatics out there. Barris, before they did all their aero parts that we know of, were a manufacturer for JGTC in the original cars pre-Super GT. So if you go back in the day and you look at the 86 that ran and a few others, they were the ones that designed the aero and made it for those cars. So Varus is not kit that you buy to win car shows, although you can. It's a kit you buy to win race events, and every duct and every functional part is there because they care about racing.
That's
That
what I
happens to
like.
look cool. You can win a car show.
Yeah,
but that's not what they made it for. They made it to win.
That's what I really like, is the form and functionality part of it.
Another good form and function piece right here is the overtake hood. This is a full dry carbon hood. We've painted it in the OEM super silver finish and left these matte carbon accents all around. Rear end of this car, again, Varus. You'll see Varus rear bumper, Varus side skirts. These are again similar to the Kamikaze. One special thing that we kind of wanted to keep on this car was the street friendliness and the kind of street look still. So instead of a huge GT wing, we kind of went with the Varus Magnum Opus. So this was just recently debuted at Tokyo Auto Salon in 2017. Essentially, it's like an OEM rear spoiler, has a couple different body lines to it, makes it a little bit more aggressive, but very street friendly.
Let's go over the interior. I know you already said that everything is Alcantara, but like I noticed that you guys go to great lengths to just change the littlest things. Like for example, like the speaker grill. I mean, even just the surround on the window switches and stuff.
It's all about the special little details that makes this car really what it is. Many of our clients, they'll tell you that they really appreciate these small details.
And you got kind of like a cage, half cage back there.
Yeah, that's our Rand RR roll cage that is manufactured by us as well.
Wow.
It's got Recaro SR7 seats to replace the factory ones. All custom Alcantara and leather work done by us as well.
Let's check out the engine bay then. Wow.
This engine has a lot of carbon bits to it and also titanium. You can start off with the AMS carbon intake manifold. This motor right here is an Alpha 12 build. Motor is fully built, stroked, all new turbos, manifolds, intake manifolds, the whole 9 yards. Also built transmission. One of the really, really cool things about this car that, is another one of those extra little details that helps make it special is these titanium intercooler pipes. So these are all handmade by Matsui-san at Amuse.
It's cool because I've seen a lot of GTR engine bays, and a lot of times there's just not much to look at just because it's such a tight space. With all the premium stuff that you guys put together, it really looks special. It looks different, and it's very cool that everything has come together like that. And this is running on pump gas.
Currently it's on pump gas. It's tuned for flex fuel.
That's when it makes those 4-figure horsepower numbers.
Yeah, that's correct.
Yeah.
You'll see the brakes. It's got some massive carbon ceramic discs made by Overtake. The cool thing about this car is that it retains the factory dampening controls. So if you see right here, you'll see that it has the air gusset coilovers, and then on top there is a plug-in to plug into the factory system. You can still control the stiffness of the ride essentially.
And you can raise it and lower it.
Touch of the button, and then inside we have another cup system that we installed. And that cup system, it helps to raise the car up when you're going up a steep driveway or anything like that.
Very cool. So let's hear how it sounds.
Sure.
I think that's pretty much everything we covered on this build. There's just so many little details that you don't see just kind of looking at it quick glance, but it's cool. Thank you so much for showing us your crazy, awesome, very good car collection.
So thanks for coming.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you, man.
Yeah.